Hi everyone, this is Bob with a quick production tip for you on building exciting transitions with reverse audio. And I have a free sample download for you, so let's get started. What I have here is an electric guitar I recorded playing each note in the chromatic scale starting with the note D. Now this is handy to have all 12 tones so you can always find something that will work in any key. Now this is more about a production tip for you that you can use with any sample. Many producers will cut a snippet of audio from another part of the song for this effect. But if you want this particular guitar sample, you can download it free at celltechproductions.com. Just go to the registered users area, samples, and download Strat Chromatic Scale. Now this was created with an American Stratocaster through a Fender Deluxe Reverb amp. Let's take a listen. So you can see I'm just playing each note in the chromatic scale. This is what came out of the amp recorded with an SM57. It's a very clean sound with just a touch of reverb on the amp. So I already figured out which notes I wanted to use for this tune, and I cut them out. Now this first note I'm using here is D, and I'm going to use it to lead into the intro. By the way, for those interested, this song is in the key of G major with one modal interchange to C minor and a tritone substitution in the outro to resolve back to the tonic G. Now here's the first note, D. So you can hear that's just a duplicate of what I already recorded. Now let's reverse the audio. For you Logic users, you can just double-click on the region and it will open up your editor. Make sure you're on File, not Track, or you won't find reverse audio. And once you're on File here, you can go to Function, Reverse, and it just reverses the audio. Now we'll click out of the editor and you can see now the waveform is reversed. Let's take a listen. So you can hear that reversing the audio provides a swell that is great for making transitions to different parts of the song. But in this case, I don't want the abruptness of that cutoff or that gated sound at the end. Listen to the end again. So I'll put a little processing to tame this effect. So let's start with EQ. So you can see that I rolled off some of the low end and the high end, and here's what that sounds like. And then I put an amp simulator, so I just picked something very clean. Now that's not going to help with the abruptness, but it does color the tone a little bit. So you can hear it pulled out a little more harmonics. Now, this is what's really going to help at the end here. I have a little bit of a delay. And then some reverb just to finish it off. It's kind of a larger hall type reverb, and this is what that sounds like. So I need the end of that audio file. I'm just going to zoom in here. I need that right there where it cuts off to end up on measure 5. So let's see what that sounds like now. I'll put the entire mix in. So a nice little lead-in transition into the intro of my song. Now let's look at other parts of the song. So you can see here in this transition from the first chorus to the second verse, I have the same note here. hand again into the lead. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use this in every part of the song, but I'm just showing this as an example of what you could do. Now, this particular note here, it's in the breakdown, and this is a half step up. So that is E flat. In this breakdown is where I'm playing that modal interchange to C minor. So I've gone up a half step to this E flat here. Let me play that for you in the mix. Now a little something interesting for the outro. I'm playing an F sharp diminished 7 here for the outro, and this is a tritone substitution that leads me back to the G chord. And I'm using 3 different notes here to kind of accentuate that tritone substitution a little bit. So I'm going from A to C to B, and that B is the 3rd in my chord G. So let me just play that, solo that up. So that's kind of interesting how that works. So I have the swell, in other words, the reverse here for the first note, and the second note. But this third note, this B note, I'm playing it just regular. I didn't reverse it, as you can see from the waveform. So the attack is at the beginning of this file and then fades out. So we'll listen to that one more time, and then I'll put it in the context of the mix. In the context of the mix. So there you go, guys. A great way to build exciting transitions with reverse audio in your mix. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment and subscribe, and go on over to celtechproductions.com for more great content. I'll see you next time.